didn't know the truth about my husband. I married him without knowing anything about him. If I had known, I would never have married him. At first, he seemed like a great man, kind and attentive. But later, I found out he was different. Let me tell you everything. I met Ethan at a charity event. He was charming, with a warm smile that could light up the room, me with confidence, and our conversation flowed effortlessly. By the end of the evening, he asked for my number, and I, captivated by his charisma, gave it to him. From that moment, we were inseparable. Ethan was thoughtful, always surprising me with small gifts and sweet gestures. He seemed to know exactly what I needed, and for the first time in years, I felt seen and appreciated. When he proposed just 6 months later, I didn't hesitate. I thought I had found my forever. Our wedding was intimate but beautiful, attended by close family and friends. Ethan looked at me like I was the only person in the world, and I felt like the luckiest woman alive. In the first few months, everything was perfect. He was attentive, supportive, and constantly showering me with love. We moved into a cozy apartment and started talking about building a future together. I thought I had found my soulmate. But then little things started to change. One evening, I noticed Ethan was on his phone more than usual, his face lighting up with smiles as he typed away. "Who are you talking to?" I asked playfully. "Just a friend," he said, putting his phone down quickly. It felt odd, but I brushed it off. I trusted him. Why wouldn't I? As the months passed, he began coming home later and later. "Work has been hectic," he'd say, his tone dismissive. He grew distant, and our conversations, once filled with laughter, became shallow and perfunctory. One night, Ethan left his phone on the coffee table and went to take a shower. The screen lit up with a message. I tried to ignore it, but something told me to look. What I saw made my stomach drop. There were messages from another woman, intimate, romantic, and filled with words he had never said to me. The messages weren't new. They dated back months, even before we got married. My hands trembled as I scrolled through pictures of them together, smiling and holding hands. When Ethan came back, I confronted him, tears streaming down my face. "What is this?" I asked, holding up his phone. His face turned pale. "Mia, I can explain," he stammered. "Explain," I shouted, my voice shaking with anger. "You've been lying to me this whole time." He tried to apologize, saying it was a mistake and that he loved me. But his words felt hollow. How could someone who claimed to love me betray me like this? For the sake of our marriage and the dreams we had built together, I decided to give him another chance. He promised to cut ties with her, to focus on us. For a while, things seemed to improve. He was more present, more attentive. But deep down, I couldn't shake the doubt. Every time his phone buzzed or he worked late, my mind spiraled with questions. One day, I saw him parked outside a cafe, laughing with her. They looked happy, carefree, as if I didn't exist. My heart shattered all over again. When I confronted him that evening, he had the audacity to deny it. But the evidence was undeniable. "You promised me," I said, my voice breaking. "You promised to end it." He didn't have an answer, only more empty apologies. That night, I made a decision. I couldn't be living like this, trapped in a web of lies and betrayal. I packed a bag and left, seeking refuge at my parents' house. My parents were shocked when I told them the truth. They encouraged me to work things out for the sake of my future, but I knew in my heart that I deserved better. Living apart from Ethan I began focusing on myself, rediscovering hobbies I had long abandoned and reconnecting with friends. I started to feel like me again. Ethan tried to reach out, sending flowers and messages begging for forgiveness. But his words no longer held power over me. I filed for divorce and started planning a future that didn't include Ethan. It wasn't easy. There were nights filled with tears, moments of doubt, and the lingering pain of betrayal. Freedom. A chance to start anew. I took a teaching job in a different city, embracing the opportunity to rebuild my life. In my new city, I found a community that uplifted me. I made new friends, pursued new hobbies, and started therapy to work through my emotions. Slowly but surely, I began to heal. One evening, as I walked through a park, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace. Life hadn't gone the way I had planned, but it had given me strength I never knew I had. I no longer saw myself as a victim of Ethan's betrayal. I was a survivor, a woman who had chosen self-respect and happiness less. Now, I wake up each day with hope. I've learned to trust myself again, to embrace the unknown, and to believe in the possibility of love. Not the fleeting conditional love Ethan offered.